Hey guys, so today we're going to get into Pincha, which is essentially like your headstand, but we're going to lift our head off the ground. So this is the type of sensation I want you to have while in headstand. I want your head to feel light. It's not putting that much pressure on the ground. We're going to do that to the point where we lift it now. So let's get to it. Instead of warming up our wrists like we always do that at some point today, but we're just strictly going to work on Pincha today, just to learn the fundamentals of it and kind of grow through it. It's not an easy pose. I actually find it harder than handstanding myself. So if that ends up being the case for you, that's okay. It's still just a place to grow from and learn from. So with that, we're going to start by warming up our shoulders and strengthening them. So let's get in a tabletop position. We're going to bring our fist on the ground. And then from here, we're going to make a complete circle and then rotate from the top and then come back. We're doing this 3 times each side. So that's 1, 2, 3. Let's do the opposite side. 1. So this mobility is very much needed in handstanding, just something I need to work a lot more on. 2. Because the less our body fights us, the less we're going to be fighting it for the pose. And that's 3. So from here, we're also going to do a pose we typically do, which is a version of child's pose. We're going to use our elbows and push into the block for about 15 seconds, or 8 seconds, sorry, and then release for 10 to 15. We're just going to go by breath. So I'm going to do 3 breaths in here with you while we're pushing, and then we're going to just release for about 5. So head through, fingers towards your back. We're going to push through our elbows, holding that cat-shaped spine for a big breath. Keep pushing through, elbows trying to push those blocks into the ground for another breath. Your core should be activated here. You should be feeling a little bit of shaky kind of thing. 1 more breath. Now we're just going to release. See how much more range of motion we find by that. One more breath. Awesome. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to push through the blocks as hard as we can for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. One more time. And let's get out of this shape. Awesome. So now we're just going to do a little strength sequence. We're going to start in dolphin pose. I know we haven't worked dolphin much, but this is a very delt heavy type of exercise. We're going to look into protracting just like we would in handstand, but through our forearms. So we're going to start in in a forearm plank, and we're going to make our way there. So if you have a light format, the nice thing that's ideal with it is it kind of gives you a space to go between. So try to keep your elbows even with your shoulders. We're going to go into a forearm plank. So this whole time, try to keep your body very low. From here, we're just going to do the same thing as we normally do while in plank. So almost like a cat-cow, except from the forearm stance, or forearm plank, I should say. So that's 1, 2, 3. We're going to slowly walk our feet to where we are comfortable. Bring your ears between your biceps, and then bring your nose between your thumbs. We're going for 3, 2, 1.
From here, we're gonna really grab our hands into the mat and lift our elbows off and bring them down for 3, 2, 1. Walk your feet back. We're gonna stay in this plank for a few seconds. Just a few nice strong breaths. Really keeping your core strong. The pelvis is gonna tuck in, and you're gonna try and keep your chest as far away from the ground as possible. Okay, round 2. So we're gonna slowly do the same thing. So breathing in, stomach down. Exhale. Protract. That's 1. 2. 3. Now we walk our feet in. As much as we can, maybe bend your knees. What is ever needed for you, do that. Or ears, even with biceps. Nose between our thumbs for 1, 2, 3. And then from here, gripping our hands into the ground, maybe bending your knees a bit more. Pushing and do a downward facing dog. Elbows down for 3, 2, 1. Bringing your feet back. One last little round into our plank. Holding our shape. Trying to aim for hollow body, that cat spine. One more breath. Knees down.
Awesome. I hope you felt that in your shoulders. I hope it brought some heat in there, some strength and protraction. We're going to get right into the drill, get into the meat and potatoes of what is required for a forearm stand, a pincha, muriasana, whichever way you want to call it. We're essentially going to be bouncing on our forearms. So first tip is I like making the same shape of distance as my headstand. So touching the opposite elbow, but then making parallel with my hands, palms down. And that way I still get the breaks in my hands and everything. If I was to do a hollow back version, I would actually be doing the triangle shape without interlacing my fingers. So since we're going for straight arm right now, hands are parallel to each other. From there, we are going to use the wall today. We're going to do 3 holds where we just hold for 10 seconds with one foot and trying to stack as much as possible. So hips over shoulders. So what that's going to look like, we're going to do it right now. First one, just watch. And then I'll do 3 other ones with you. So the first one is just to show you, we're going to scale the wall, so just walk up it. So hands even underneath my shoulders. We're just going to step up. And then I like bringing my head through, but my head is not touching in any way, shape, or form. This is Pincha. It is actually quite a bit harder for me than a handstand because it is ruthless. It shows your flaws. So I'm very tight trying to bring my elbows up, and so my body is fighting to bring me back down. This is very good because it'll show you where your weaknesses are if they're there. Next class, we're going to do a hollow back with the wall where it's going to help us all open up a bit more if you have the same issues as me. But for now, we're going to go for 3 holds. I like about forearms distance away, maybe mid between my legs here is where my elbows are going to be, and the arms are out past that. We're looking to stack everything. We're going for 3 rounds. And then from there, we're pretty much done. We're just gonna finish off. I'm gonna give you one last strength drill after that. That might be even a bit harder, but it's at least gonna give us the work we wanna put in to keep going with our handstands. So no holds today, no wrist warm-ups. Do them if you have the chance. You should do them every day. But today, no handstands. We're just gonna get right into Pincha. Feel that in your shoulders, your chest, kind of understand a new basic that is essentially imitating everything of our handstand, except for the fact that you're not on your hands. So it makes it a lot harder because you have less play to be able to use and kind of modify throughout. So I'm usually able to be so flexible in my wrists that I can fix my line in my handstand, but this should be here without having to push. So let's go for it. So elbows as close as you can to the wall. The closer, just like our handstands, you can get and comfortable, the better. We're not floating unless we're comfortable. I recommend you go for it though. The way you fall out is just rotate out just like you would your handstand. So you're just gonna push off the one elbow, essentially just push, and you'll fall to the side. You can roll out, but it's very difficult. If you feel like you're falling, just push a lot more with your fist and you're gonna bring yourself back to the wall. It's all about exposure therapy here. We're just gonna expose ourselves until we're not scared of doing these things. So let's go for our 3 rounds and call it a day. First one, big breath in. Big breath, we're going up. So I'm gonna go a bit closer just to get a float. And we are going for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The walking away is less graceful with your forearms. So between that today, instead of doing a stretch, we're gonna add a nice little strength exercise. We're eventually gonna do this on our hands as well, but we're gonna do a forearm plank with our feet on the wall. So we're just gonna hold and float. So this is really helping you learn the concept of protraction. We're gonna do that for 10 seconds after each rep here. So hands, you wanna make sure your feet are flat. The lower you can get them, the harder this drill is. We're essentially just bringing both of our feet up and staying there. You want a good gripping mat. Make sure your butt isn't really, really high. So we're going for 10, 9. If you can stack your shoulders over your elbows, perfect. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe a few self hugs here. Kind of push through that. Everything is very protraction heavy today, but we need that for handstands. It's a must. It should be a muscle pattern that becomes easier. Learning to move our shoulders forward and back should become second nature for you. Let's go for our second pincha though. Elbows down. Big breath in for setting. And the second breath, we just go up. We're going for 15, 14. You can look between your mid forearms or look through, it's up to you. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Big breath. So this is what gets that delt development. You'll see a lot of handstanders have. A lot of this pushing action will make your arms look stronger and fuller. You just got to make sure you also do the opposite action so you don't start looking like a hunchback. Also with this second round of plank on the wall, keep in mind that I could do these with socks on. My wall is not grippier than yours. You don't need shoes for this. This is just about pushing and bringing your weight back. You'll learn to manipulate your weight and feel lighter in it. So that takes time. It takes a lot of work, but we'll get there. Let's get for round 2. It's actually easier if you're kind of having your arms forward and having to push back into the wall, especially if you're learning. The lower your feet are, the harder, so maybe aim to have them a bit higher at first. We're going for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Maybe every round feels easier. Let's do one at a time, right? Last round of the pincha hold. So we're going for our 15 seconds one more time, and then we're done after the last plank hold. So go to where you found your comfortable spaces. Big breath. Let's get up.
So this time we are going for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So you may have seen me come on and off the wall. If you looked at that before doing it, or if you did it with me and you were too busy, that's okay. I went on and off the wall. So with handstanding, you want to be comfortable and able to, if you're not holding it, bring yourself to a place where you can just get right back into it. Feel comfortable with that, feel strong with that, and learn to just kind of play with your pose. Feel safe. That's the thing you want to get more and more confidence throughout what you're doing. Let's go for our last hold. And today was a bit of a quick one, but a very strong, intensive one. So I applaud you for getting through this. So forearm plank, feet on the wall. Challenge yourself to go a little lower than you did the last one. We're going for 10, 9, tuck in that little spine, squeeze your glutes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Okay, we're just gonna take 3 breaths together and then just enjoy the rest of our day today. So no big handstand holds, just a lot of protraction, gaining that muscle, that concept, and learning how to do Pincha. Getting into it is the first step. Finding balance comes with time, as for handstand and everything else. So let's take 3 breaths together. We're gonna just close our eyes, in through our nose, then out through our mouth. So big inhale, exhale. In through your nose, out through your nose. One more. Cheers, guys. I like doing that whenever I feel like my heart rate is high or I have a good pump. Kind of just resets me before I go do whatever's next. Cheers, namaste, and if you like what's going on, subscribe, share with others, and just thank you for being here.